Hello and welcome to Know and To Do podcast. With me is Angel Cawe, Isaiah Cordova, and myself, Cesar Serrano. Today we'll be discussing how Chicagoans could feel safer within their communities.
But first, we need to address the problem. And the three main issues we're going to be talking about are gun violence, the relationship with law enforcement and community, and then overall funds or budget when it comes to the community and its law enforcement. When it comes to gun violence, it has increasingly become a bigger problem within Chicago within the few last years. To give more of an example, when it comes to innocent bystanders, there has been more incidents with them, and there has been a lot more death casualties or fatalities within Chicago neighborhoods. This has caused a lot of heightened fear and insecurity and disruption in daily life. And one example of this, to be more exact, is actually when it comes to a tragic incident with a 7-year-old. He tragically ended up dying from a random gunfire that was just in public.
Additionally, we've seen racist acts. As we saw with Venezuelans, there was a shooting where 8 of them got shot at a house party. This is just showing us how there's like a lack of community. Shootings are happening between like people that like they're literal neighbors, and that's a big issue. So something that needs to be done is bring communities together, make sure that they could release programs for the youth to get out of gangs or operate with guns. Also, communities need to come together to have a stronger relationship with the law enforcement. This way they could feel safer. Not only that, but if they have like, a good connection with the law enforcement, like there's a bigger chance that they will feel like their issues are actually being resolved. And that's what we really need if we want Chicagoans to really feel safe.
And the reason why adding more police or having more police officers available or be able to be available is so important is because it has been shown in multiple different studies that the more police officers are or reduce crime and overall increase the safety of a neighborhood / community, honestly.
Well, let's talk about funds. Recently, in these kind of years, there's been more and more different types of crimes with AI and technology these years. So local law enforcement needs to get more areas for these types of problems and to address these types of in these types of fields.
Yeah, I agree. Each community has its own needs and issues that it faces. Some deal with homelessness, others may deal with people that have mental issues. But the thing is, like, if we have more funds, we could be assured that the law enforcement could deal with those issues correctly. Overall, people will feel safer if they know, like, they don't have to worry about things outside of their house, within their community. And that's what it's really all about.
Honestly, yeah, that's all it's really about. But also something else to bring a little bit of attention to is that with that funding, you could also create programs within the community itself that not only bring it together, but also give awareness to the safety or safety measures you could do. So, for example, we were talking about the relationship between law enforcement and community before. Typically, in a lot of communities, it's very poor because of how they never really interact with each other. In these kind of programs, you could bring them together in order to have police officers teach the young, the elderly, or just the adults in the neighborhood how you should protect yourself in a certain type of situation, or honestly just start interacting with each other and get to know each other. This overall increases not only the safety of the community, but also just brings a better outlook of life.
This is a really good transition as to how you could actually make a difference in your community. I think initially you should just be nice to everyone. It could be as simple as just saying hi, good morning, to your neighbors. Also, just like be willing to be like a helping hand. Like if you notice, I don't know, right now in the fall, if your neighbors have like a lot of leaves, maybe just clean them up for them. That's like saying little you could do. But if you want to go big, you could just do organize programs with other neighbors. You could also just talk to law enforcement, go to the building of the police district near you, and just talk about how they could help you make some big moves in the community or events.
Another small little gesture that you could do to just brighten up the people's days, or more specifically cops, is just bring them some food and all, because for the risks that they go through, they aren't paid enough. They aren't able to do enough with the amount of money they have, especially live off of it.
Now, you can make a change. Go to the comments, click our survey, and answer some of the questions. It'll only take you a minute, trust me. I've done it. I've supported the community. I've done a lot.
Remember, your feedback will help us understand more about the topic and understand how everyone feels within their own communities. As we all know, we all come from different places. We have different experiences, and that's why we need to come together as a community.
And that's To Know and To Do podcast. Thank you for watching. Cue the outro.